I just got my own karma. I was gonna clickbait y'all. I was gonna title this vlog, I showed it to Milan with no clothes and hope and a dream. Something along those lines. Not exactly that, but you know, I was basically just gonna really tease it because I actually was gonna do that. I was going to show up to Milan Fashion Week, take advantage of the fact that I'm in Europe and most European designer stuff is slightly cheaper, give or take. And I was just like, I can even just do some vintage shopping and whatever. And girl, we just got to Milan and guess what happened? When we got to baggage claim, wasn't no bags. There wasn't no bags. Yeah, I'm balancing my camera on this couch. My tripod is in my check bag. Please don't fall. Anyway, yes, I'm really trying to give y'all quality vlog content because this fashion week thing, like it can't be done in vain. And so we just got to Milan Fashion Week and honestly, the schedule is aspirational. That's what I'll call it. But I'm here for it. But anyway, guys, that's not the important part. We got to Milan, just the carousel was just a carousel and Dennis's bag got here just fine. For whatever reason, my bag did not make it. We ended up tracking it. It's at JFK. We did have a layover in JFK and then we stopped in Paris and then got here. They're putting it on the next flight straight away from JFK to here so that it doesn't have to do the same route that we did to get here, right? Are you following me? Does that make sense? But it's annoying because as of right now, I wanna say it's probably like 6 or 7 a.m. in New York. That flight, the one that they're putting my bag on, is not leaving for another 12 hours. Not me low-key jinxing myself because I quite literally don't have any stuff now. Anyway, this hotel is absolutely stunning. It's a Dorchester hotel. I don't remember the name of it, but y'all have got to see this room. It's absolutely stunning. Let me tell you something. Italians know how to dress and Italians know how to do some architecture. Babes, how did you manage to bring more underwear on this trip than anything else? I'm not gonna expose you, but all your drawers is just draw like.
You know, you just need extras. You know what I mean?
I can't say that I've ever needed that many, but you know, no judgment. Shout out to hotels that give you a full-length mirror. The architecture is just like really pretty. It's definitely more of a traditional, kind of older style, but it doesn't feel old. This is the bedroom, and then this is the bathroom, which is stunning. Also quite a juxtaposition from what the room design looks like versus the bathroom. The bathroom is like white, like it's just bright white, almost kind of modern in a way, minus like all of this obviously, but great size hotel. It's pretty much where a lot of the fashion girls stay. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, so far the best part has been the people watching. I haven't taken notes. Okay, I've been taking notes. I've been like, okay. Milan Fashion Week is different. This is our tub and this is our shower and yeah, that's it. I wanted to show y'all some jewelry that I bought from this Nigerian owned brand. At least I think it's Nigerian. I know for a fact it's Black owned. It's called Oma the label. They actually reached out to me for the 15% pledge in LA, which was last month. And they sent me a bunch of stuff and unfortunately it didn't make it in time. But the irony is the brand was already on my radar. And so I placed an order the next day for a bunch of stuff for me. So I got a bunch of cute little dainty things and I got some not so dainty things. I've really been needing cuffs, okay? So I bought 2 of them, you know, so you can do like 1 arm each. And I like these because they're very Grecian. I like how the metal is bent. It kind of looks a little aged, a little antique. Then I got some daintier, smaller pieces. And I literally got this order and immediately put it in my suitcase because I was like, oh, you're coming with me. Probably like my favorite size earrings are like little Huggies like these. Very, actually, yeah, these are the exact same size. So the Huggies that I'm wearing now are from David Yurman. They're obviously thicker, but like they're pretty much the same size as far as like the size of the hoop, you know? That's what they look like. They almost kind of look like beads. What are these? Oh, I think these are like the bigger version of that same hoop in that collection. So as you can see, they're pretty thick, but they're not too thick. And these are absolutely gonna be layered with the little tiny ones. Oh, more Huggies, of course, I couldn't resist. They're like cables, but they're not tightly wound. Like they're kind of like loose cables. Did you just spray some Chris Collins? Chris Collins just came out with this perfume.
So good.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie.
Probably one of the best.
Killed it.
Chocolate and fragrance can be really polarizing. But his newest perfume, I can't. It's like oud. I think there's like almond notes and chocolate. It's bomb. Every time Dennis smells it, I immediately recognize it. It smells amazing. On this trip. Yeah, as you should. And that smells really good on him. Okay, then I got this ring and it's just like a big, thick, not the diamond one, this one here. We all love a good statement, simple, clean, classy band. Amazing for layering. Honestly, even that is kind of a vibe. I like that. Oh, I got another ring. Okay, so this one kind of sort of looks like the earrings in a way. Twisted. Oh my God, that's really, really pretty. Oh, I love that. Just in case you didn't get a good look at the first ring, this is the first one that I showed you, the solid, and this is the twisty one, this one here. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. So that's some Oma the Label jewelry. This was definitely a splurge that I was like, let me just get a few classic pieces, and then if I really like what I get, I'm going in. Now that I see how beautiful a lot of this jewelry is, I love every single piece. I will absolutely be getting more. Look what I bought in the airport, by the way. Cute little AirPods case, because to be quite honest with you, I'm really tired of like having to search through my bag, beating them up looking for them, and it matches my Kelly pochette perfectly. I don't know what it is with me in the color brown. Well, I'm brown, so like it's just a match made in heaven. This has been my favorite color this season. I love a monochromatic brown look, a caramel look. I love all of it. You know, I actually wanted to say something on the note of Hermes, and this is not gonna be liked, but you know what, I'm gonna say it anyway because that's just what I do. It's been really weird, like, because I'm just now like outwardly showing people the stuff that I like to splurge on, and just different types of fashion, and like elevating is not a bad thing. I don't think elevating is a bad thing for anybody, but it's always very weird the way that the narrative shifts based on the stuff that I share and stuff that I talk about. Again, this is going to be a hot take and this is not going to be liked, but I'm going to explain myself clearly and concisely. And if there's any questions, I will not be elaborating because I feel like I'm going to be making my point very clear. This like discourse around Hermes is very telling. I think it's very telling because like I did this Hermes haul on TikTok and it was really cute. You know, like who isn't excited about a haul? Like hauls are fun. Hauls are fun. Like spending money is fun, especially when you're living within your means, when you don't have to like feel weird about it. Like it's quite nice. And I've been honestly shopping at Hermes for years. I have probably about half a dozen Birkins. So I'm not new to this. Okay, I'm true to this. I've been a seasoned collector. I buy resale because the resale market is where you can get like really cool, unique stuff that like you're not gonna find in stores, even if you are a regular customer. Like that stuff is from like years ago, right? So like most of the stuff that I buy is like from resellers, and I'm okay with that. Even though it is more expensive, I'm okay with that because like I just want what I want. Anyway, I did this video and I was talking about how that was the first time I've ever been offered a bag in store, and I bought a picoton. I said it wrong in the video, but I said picotine, but it's called picoton. And you know, some of the discourse was a little weird because I find it like quite frustrating as a Black woman how the narrative about you shifts when people, I just feel like sometimes people see what they want to see. And what I wanted to say that I know is not going to be liked is that nobody is like more like obsessed with this Hermes discourse than people who are not even actually buying Hermes. Like I went to the store, I asked for a bag that I wanted, and I got offered the bag that I wanted in a different color, but it was still a color that I would have requested anyway. And so after that video, it was really weird seeing people like scramble to the comments and say things like almost implying that I begged for it. And it was like, why did you think I had to beg? Like based on what exactly? And the irony is that like, I don't know if people heard something different, but I verbatim said, I asked for this bag and I got offered this bag. And then there's also a Birkin behind me in the video. So it was not my first Hermes bag in general. Yeah, that's like the first time I've ever been offered a bag in store. The missing context, I think though, is that I've also previously never really asked for bags in stores because Birkins and Kellys have been so, like they've been such a huge pop cultural zeitgeist that like they're probably used to people coming in there, not being serious, asking about Birkins and Kellys. So like, I just don't even bother. But anyway, that day I asked for what I wanted. I got what I wanted. And that was that. Some of the feedback was weird, a bit telling. And the reason why I like to have these conversations as a Black woman is that like, I don't want anybody who is trying to elevate, because honestly, I actually think this is a bigger conversation and it's not just about Hermes bags. But let me actually just finish what I was saying. So some of the comments were basically saying, oh, I can't believe you all, very, very coded language, by the way. I can't believe you all run to the store begging to be, you know, offered a bag that you have to compete for. Just like very weird, like who's begging? Who's begging? It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like, were you there? Like, it's so weird that when it's Black women, it's, of course it's begging. Of course, there's no way I could have just met a wonderful sales associate and just really vibed with that person really well. And maybe that person had what I wanted and offered it to me. Like, why is that such a big deal? That's weird. There were also people saying like, oh, it's so weird that they offered her the crumbs. I think if people knew what a picoton was and the price of it, they would not be saying that. Awkward. This is a conversation that is bigger than Hermes because I think it's very much a projection of how people talk about Black women when they elevate in work, when they elevate in education, when they elevate in their profession, when they start making more money, when they start just going outside of the norm of their community or of what's expected of them, and just seeing people be like, ew. I remember the first time I ever like posted myself getting a Birkin or like posted in a picture and somebody was like, oh, they just give Birkins to everybody now. So I responded like, oh, like, which one do you have? And the conversation completely changed. Because I kept pressing this person like, so do you have one or no? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, so I guess not everyone then, you know? Why is it, what's this? Oh, my outfit. I'm really excited because this is gonna be stunning. But anyway, this conversation is bigger than Hermes. It really just is about how just the conversation becomes really weird when it comes to Black women elevating. It's so weird. And I know there are a lot of people who follow me who may be going in a similar path, and just note it and just be like, okay, got it. Because most of the things that I've seen people say about me in different scenarios and elevating and, you know, shopping here, doing this or buying that, to me, in my opinion, whenever people say those things, it's literally just projecting. It's like, that's what they would probably do in that situation. So they assume everybody else is like that. And it's not tea. Is not what you think it is, you know? It's just not. Also, designer stuff is literally just stuff. It's nothing to be obsessed about. It's nothing to beg for. Funny enough, we were at a Hermes a couple weeks ago and I rejected a bag. Because in that video, that was in Aspen, there was a completely different shopping trip. But in that video, someone had asked me a question like, hey, what happens if you ever like reject something? Like, will you get penalized? Like, what'll happen? And I said to them, if they offer you something once, they can offer it to you again. It's just a bag. Like, these things come and go. So this idea that like every Black woman in this space is like begging to be here is insanely false. It's also quite a harmful narrative in a way. And I think it also speaks to when you see someone that looks like you in spaces that you don't think that you belong in, why do you automatically see that as a bad thing and start talking down on that person? It should not be that way. I didn't even know I was gonna preach this much. I really didn't. Like I said, it's bigger than Hermes. I will not be elaborating any further and I will not be, you know, listening to any rebuttals. It's just kind of dumb. Like, it's not giving beg, babe. Like, it's not giving beg. It's very much, we live within our means. And I go to the store and ask for what I want. If they have what I want, they don't. If they do, I'm gonna purchase it. It's very simple. Like, that's my mood board. Thank you. I hope that spoke to somebody because I just feel like now that we're here, we're talking about luxury, we're showing it, we're posting it, we're in the fashion space. We need to address the obvious. I think maybe if this becomes more normal, people will stop projecting their negative opinions about it. Also, friendly reminder, Hermes sells more than just Birkins and Kellys. Just because someone goes to a store and doesn't buy a Birkin or a Kelly, it doesn't mean whatever else they walked out of the store with was just scraps that was thrown at them. I just want us to like, the discourse has gotten strange. Like, we're at a 15, let's bring it on like a 3. Let's just enjoy stuff. Let's just enjoy stuff, okay? We're at the buffet and Dennis just told me, hey babes, they have churros. And I'm thinking like, churros in Italy? No, they don't. And this is what he just brought me. This is what he thought was a churro.
It looked like it from a distance.
It's a biscuit. It's literally like something you would eat with coffee or tea. How did you confuse it with a churro?
I don't know, from a distance.
It's literally a biscuit. A buffet was a 10 out of 10 though. French toast, premium. Eggs, not soggy. You know, sometimes in, trigger warning, Europe, they like really runny eggs. It was not giving that. Okay, the entire look is of course Max Mara. And by the way, the good news is I ended up finding my bags. My day started a couple hours later than ideally, but this is the look that I had planned, and the entire look is Max Mara. The shoe is YSL, the one y'all bullied me into getting from stories, but secretly I wanted it anyway. And my bag is a Kelly Pochette. So it's all cream, all neutral, all warm. just brown girl energy. Ideally, I would like this outfit to be brown, but it's okay because I like cream too. So right now we're headed to the Weekend by Max Mara and Max & Co presentation. And if you aren't familiar with the difference between like a runway show and a presentation is a little bit less formal. It could be like a store visit. It could be a showroom visit. It really is just like, sometimes it's clothing on the models while the models are just static. They're just standing there. You're walking around them. You're checking them out and they're just kind of posing in motion, but there's not an actual runway. And also with presentations, they run like all day. Then there's two different ones. There's Weekend by Max Mara and Max & Co. So that's where we're headed. Just in time for Beyonce's Act 2. Very cute. I like crop jackets and I like brown chocolate.
That's really nice.
That trench, you like it because it's very London.
Yeah.
It's very
and it's my color as well.
Yes, it is.
Oh, a shoe.
Same. I was just thinking that.
And is there a particular season that you think stands out the most for you?
For me, they're winter, definitely their fall winter wear because they make really good coats. Like I'm telling you, when I went to Aspen Babes, that was the first place I've ever traveled to where I was like not cold whatsoever because I actually packed proper coats and I packed proper things and I brought the Max Mara teddy coat. So I did something right. This is so cute. And pajamas.
Yeah.
Pajamas coat, like.
Which color did you like between this color and the other color?
It's hard, but I actually really like this. This actually reminds me a lot of like London in the 70s. Like, doesn't this feel very Austin Powers to you?
Yeah, I can see that.
Very shaggy.
I
like it though, nostalgia. I like this one and the long like gown that we saw with like the gloves.
It's giving vintage but modern.
Feels very, very nostalgic. Feels very 70s. I like it though. Just got back from the presentation with Max & Co. and Weekend by Max Mara. So Max Mara is an entire group of brands, right? Max Mara is kind of like, I think like their top shelf. I look at them as like, if you're gonna spend money, you go to Max Mara. I consider Weekend by Max Mara like the entry level. It's a bit more casual. The materials are not as thick. And I do see Weekend by Max Mara as a bit more like where I would go for like fall and like summer stuff. As far as Max & Co., that's actually the brand that I'm the least familiar with. I only really shop Weekend by Max Mara and Max Mara, the main brand. So it was interesting. I loved this collection they did with Richard Quinn. That was stunning. It was nostalgic. I mean, I already talked about it earlier, but it just gave me straight up time capsule 70s. It was very mod, really adorable, and a little bit camp. Like all the gloves was matching the shoes. Like I like that kind of stuff. I love when the entire look is committed. So I have a short break before I have a Sephora meeting. I'm actually doing like a joint founders meeting with Sephora. It's not a meeting, but we're going to be like introducing a product. So each of us are going to have a time where we talk about one product that we're launching this year. So it's going to be really cool because it's mainly focused around Black founders. That's the cool thing about being a Sephora brand is they always throw you into these really cool opportunities with other Sephora brands, a lot of Black owned initiatives. So I'm gonna go eat real quick and then jump on my live for that. But you know, the outfit is giving good evening, Charles. But this may actually also be my MCM outfit, child, at this rate, because they were supposed to send me something from New York and I don't know if it's gonna make it in time, because how do you overnight something from New York to Milan? You don't. So if I don't have time to go shopping tomorrow, then I'm gonna have to go get an outfit. Just because I will never get tired of this outfit, I have my MCM pajamas, my Hermes slippers. I think I got these in Paris, if I remember correctly. Yeah, my little pochette. I'm just gonna go eat real quick. Girl, get me a club sandwich. I love a club sandwich. One thing about me, turn that up. I'm gonna give me a club sandwich. I'm gonna give me an espresso martini. I'm gonna only drink half because I need to be cute for this meeting. But yeah, let's go. This angle is pretty hideous, but work with me, child. It's day now 2 technically in Milan Fashion Week, and I'm getting ready to, I gotta pick up an outfit for an MCM presentation. The outfit that they sent didn't show up, or at least to my knowledge didn't show up. It could miraculously just show up at my hotel in the next like hour, but the presentation already started. It's another one of those all day, like 10 a.m. to 6 a.m. type vibes. So I am gonna go make a quick shopping run, and hopefully that's the only shopping that I'll have to do, because I want that to be like the one shopping trip that I do while I'm here. I took 2 Makeup by Mario palettes with me on this trip. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, between these two, they kind of be doing it for me when I travel because they're small, they're compact. I also really like Huda's palettes for travel because they're really small and compact, and they just like have all the essential colors. Another unpopular opinion, guys, I just feel like since I'm getting ready, this is the perfect time to talk about it, and this one is spicy. This one is spicy. This one might give me some lashings, but listen, there's been a ton of discourse the past year about the black hair community like basically being in shambles. Like the lack of professionalism, the lack of just like an industry standard, people being unserious, people not really like just stepping it up, charging excess for different hair textures, which is insane. And honestly, I'm gonna let people finish. I agree with a lot of the criticism. I think it's very valid. I think that the unpopular part is this is not just a black industry thing. And I'm here to tell you, I've worked with hairstylists from every background in the industry, and the stuff that y'all be talking about with black hairstylists, I want to say that it's just a black hairstylist thing, but it's not. This is also like very much in a way kind of proves something that I previously talked about, in that if you only have proximity to your own community, like of course you're gonna think that's a black thing, but it's definitely not. Okay, so some of the things that I want to talk about, and I actually want to talk about this on TikTok too, even though I may need to turn them comments off. But one thing that I've incurred and something that I've noticed with talking about hairstylists in general is, well, one, when I'm working with a non-black artist, I always have to worry about whether their skill set's already there. So yes, that is something that happens with black hairstylists as well. But I'm here to tell you, it ain't just black people charging extra for 4C hair. Yeah, when you work with a non-black stylist, first of all, you have to even check if they can do 4C hair. That's the first issue. Another thing that comes up a lot is like wanting to be photographed, right? Like recently, this one hairstylist got exposed for like basically putting her clients through a paper bag test, and she would like make her customers, I guess, I don't even know if I'm talking about the same person, but there's also been like discourse about like hairstylists who are like, yeah, you have to come camera ready. I want to take pictures. I want to post you on my Instagram. And I don't agree with that because girl, what? Like I came here to get my hair done. I did not come here to be on your portfolio. Like I came here to get my hair done. The same exact thing happens with non-black artists, and especially artists in the industry. And you know, there's like a thing where people literally get pissed if you post a picture after having got your work done and you don't like tag them in the photo. Now, to the average person, you may think, oh, that doesn't seem like a big deal. Like, why would you not just tag them? That's very fair, but you have to also remember that like one, sometimes people don't always want their posts to just be about like who they tagged. Like sometimes I just want to post something. And also my opinion is that how can we respect, or how can we say that we respect artists being a business and artists, you know, wanting to be credited for their work? Like if that person paid you and if that person tipped you well, and if they were like a respectful client and got their hair done, and you know, that entire transaction was done in a respectable manner, I feel like a tag is not really required. Is it a nice thing? Absolutely. I love being able to like tag people and highlight other artists, but I'm not necessarily going to do that in every post. But a lot of hairstylists get pissy about that. Like they really get mad. Like I've heard, this has not happened to me personally that I know of, but I've heard of people literally like, oh yeah, I don't work with that girl no more, she never tags. See, because this is where I feel like sometimes people are not gonna like this, because y'all don't like influencers talking about our worth, but we have worth too, y'all. Like that's like real estate for a creator, right? Like you can charge for that. So I don't think that should be expected. If something that I can charge for, that is my job, if that's something that I can make money off of, I don't think that should be expected. I think that is a courtesy, and I think that is something that somebody should do at their own will. And I think if you absolutely are like, no, but like I'm really trying to prioritize being tagged and getting my name out there, in my opinion, I think you should incentivize it for the person, because basically you're asking somebody to do something for free that you probably wouldn't like if the person asked of you. Like nobody likes when influencers ask for free stuff. Okay, then I think that that respect and that courtesy should go both ways. And I don't think that's harsh for saying that or thinking that. I thought that this was not a real thing. I honestly thought people only did stuff like this in movies. But if somebody in the industry is like not cool with me and we share a hairstylist, it can become a thing. It can become it's either me or her. That has definitely come up before. And honestly, when I first really started like working my hairstylist, getting my makeup done for like events and stuff, I didn't think anything of that, because I thought like, I personally don't care if you do hair for like well, I'm not even gonna say any names, but for me, when I'm working with a professional, I just see them as a professional. I personally don't care who's on your books. As long as you don't bring it up, I really don't care. I'm here to book you for a service. We can go on about our day. I'm here to mind my business. However, and I still don't necessarily agree with this approach, I now kind of in a way do understand how for some people it can be a conflict of interest, but I just think there's sometimes a way to go about doing it that's a little bit less obvious. And I also think there's like levels to having beef, right? Like, if you do hair for like someone who's just politically not a good person, probably not somebody I would want to be associated with. But if it's just like a beef that's like very surface level and something really silly, I don't care about who you do hair with. Like, I personally don't care. Like, I don't care. If you good, you good. I'm gonna book you. But at the same time, like sometimes, you know, hairstylists can be extremely like intertwined in your personal life just as much as they are in your professional life. So you don't ever want to have to worry about somebody like spreading gossip to the ops. So I get it. Do I think it's that deep? For me, no, but I kind of get it. Speaking of photo tags, this is actually a bit more, someone might say this is a little bit petty, but as a Black woman, whenever I vet and work with professionals, like I do a lot of vetting. I need to make sure they know how to work on dark skin. For example, like if they're a makeup artist, right? Or if they're a hairstylist, like I have to really make sure that they bring the skill set that they do on their non-Black clients as they do on Black clients. And, you know, I really do take a lot of pride because a beauty service, when you hire a professional, in a way is giving them some trust, and you're kind of vulnerable. They're right in your face, they're in your hair, and so on and so forth. And so sometimes I take that very personally. I don't take that for granted. Professional level aside or not, I don't take that for granted. And so whenever I work with the artist and I see that they only post like a particular type on their books, on their work, on their Instagram and their TikTok, I kind of feel weird about that. And this is kind of like what we were talking about earlier about the paper bag tests hairstylists. Like, to me, I find that weird. And there's definitely been a couple times where I've worked with artists and I could tell like for them it was just work. I didn't feel like there was a sense of pride in them working with me as much as I really admired working with them. And honestly, it doesn't make them a bad person at all. It doesn't mean like, oh, screw them. I'm not really. Like, I get the service and then I note it and I move on, but I can't lie and say that I don't notice it and feel weird. There's definitely been times where like not a single time there's hairstylists that I've worked with and you will never see me on their page. And I cannot explain why. I don't know if it's because they secretly have clients that like me. I don't know if it's like a look thing. I will never know. And honestly, I don't really need to. It doesn't matter, because if I feel like this person isn't as proud to work with me as I am of them, then I just won't work with them anymore. That's very simple. Like, I like giving my business to people that I feel really good about, you know? Oh, and one thing that comes up a lot, this is specifically like a non-Black thing, specifically, is stealing. Oof. Like, a lot of these hairstylists, you ever seen a white person do a quick weave? Where do you think they learn that from? So my issue is like, I don't expect every single technique, every single thing that a hairstylist does to be credited when they do it. But when you're on social media, for example, and you're posting something, I do think there is somewhat of an obligation. And also, like, because all hairstylists talk and this industry is small, and like I've heard, you know, incidents where hairstylists have been like, Black hairstylists have been like, yeah, so-and-so, like some of these really well-known top celebrity non-Black artists, like learning stuff, watching them do things, and then they replicate it, and then they act like they put themselves on, like they don't even credit the Black person. And I'm talking about artists, non-Black artists who are professionally higher on the totem pole. I don't think that. I'm just saying, like, they have more followers, they're more well-known, they have way more celebrity clientele. So you see them taking these techniques and stuff from like Black hairstylists, the Black hairstylists that they're in proximity to, and like not elevating them with them. I think that's wrong. I think that if you're a non-Black hairstylist that's taking techniques, lingo, personalities from Black people, I think if you're gonna take, you need to bring them with you too. That's just my opinion. And that could look like letting them take jobs with you, referring your clients to them when you can't take work. You can't take every single job you're offered. So if you can't do it, put a Black person on, period. Why not? Like, why can't you? Anyways, I'm gonna summarize this and talk about it on TikTok because I just kind of feel like this conversation is bigger than just the Black community. And we can't on one end be dragging girls like Miss Winnie for generalizing Black people, but then do the same in the industry. Like, we have to hold ourselves to the standard that we expect of others, whether we want to hear it or not. Even though I do think the criticism is valid. I do think some of the criticism is valid. I'm just here to tell y'all, if it makes anyone feel any better, which I know it probably won't, it is definitely not just Black hairstylists. We just got back from the La Double J presentation, which was probably, I'm not gonna lie, the highlight of I'm fumbling with the skirt because I'm about to take it out. I think it was the highlight of this trip. The brand was just amazing. Like, it was just extra embellished, all of the prints. Look at this top I'm wearing. The skirt needs to be zipped up. I'm taking it off, but like, just so you get a feel for like the outfit. I don't know, well, you already saw it, but I just felt like this was one of the most me brands. And La Double J is a local Italian brand, not local in a sense where it's like small, but it's like it's big in Italy and it's a Milanese brand. So like they're mainly known for like that style fashion, and just the Italians just know how to dress. Like, they know how to put that ish on. I don't know, I was just here for it. It was so many beautiful prints, and as an African, I was inspired because I love color and I love to see that celebrated in wearable ways, but also like lavish ways. So the collection was stunning. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. We're gonna go out to dinner. I'm gonna change. He's rushing me, so I gotta go, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Makeup is now done. It's the last day for us in Milan, and I just wanted to show y'all how good I look. That's all. I ain't got nothing important to say. This repeat outfit from Miu Miu, I'm absolutely obsessed with this set. And I just found like a new way that I'm gonna style it. It's cold and it's raining, so I needed to wear boots. And the boots are also important because they're Jimmy Choo's, and we're going to the Jimmy Choo presentation today. Look at me! Jimmy Choo is one of my favorite shoe designers. And then after that, we're going to the Renee Calvia presentation. So I actually have some really, really cool opportunities today. Finishing off my look with Afune's Bare Lip Gloss in the shade Eno. She just launched her brand this year. If you're not familiar with Coco swatches, you absolutely should be. She's the queen of brown girl swatches, just brown girl conversations about diversity and beauty. And I love her, and she launched her brand. I'm so proud of her, and her glosses are amazing. So I really wanted to include as many Black owned founders in my beauty look. That's what I'm wearing, and Dennis is downstairs waiting for me. I'm already 20 minutes late. I gotta go. One time for the birthday bear tomorrow.
Hey,
fit check, fit check.
Small.
This is an interesting color.
Yeah, I thought I'd try
It's
something
like
different.
a brownish burgundy. Where's this from, babes?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Where's this from?
This trouser, this is from COS.
I like COS.
COS, they have the best.
I like COS.
They have the best
and
and most
Massimo Dutti.
the most comfortable trousers.
So, like I told you guys earlier, we're on the way to Jimmy Choo and Renee Calvia. Love Renee Calvia. That's honestly the last two shows we have. This was like a pretty, I would say, successful fashion week. I'm just like super excited about what's hopefully to come after this trip.
And you look good.
Thank you, babes. I'm wearing my favorite Jimmy Choo boots, actually. And I will be getting some more after we go to this presentation, by the way. We're going straight to Jimmy Choo. Kitten Hill era confirmed. I don't care, y'all. I love them. I'm sorry, these are a vibe. Red, not the red, also being burgundy. This is gorgeous. I think I've actually just found my favorite. This is really cute. Tapping Renaissance Girls. For the fishnet dolls. I knew I smelled something floral. Look at that. The butterfly is insane. Actually, I need this one.
It's a lot of
This is like
choices.
overwhelming.
Lots of choices. Very nice.
I know, stunning. And you know the best part is the bottom. The signature glitter. I changed shoes. It's our fashion queen, our black fashion queen.
Get into the mud.
Get into your mug.
Get into the mud. Let the people.
Has anybody ever told you that you're Nigerian?
You know, when Nigerians say that you're Nigerian, that's the highest compliment.
You actually act so Nigerian.
You can act,
so Nigerian.
get into it.
Her lives, if you guys not follow her on TikTok, this is Tanika, by the way. If you guys do not follow her on TikTok. And when somebody says you give Nene Leakes energy, I was like, wait, I didn't see it until they said it.
Oh, do I give Nene
I thought it was adorable. I live for you, and I'm so happy about it. You look amazing.
Thank you.
So Tanika, I wanted to ask you some questions about Milan Fashion Week.
I'm ready.
This is technically not my first one, but it's
Okay.
Technically the first one I've done without a brand. So just
Okay.
curious, like, how's your experience been? What's been your
It's amazing.
highlight show you've seen this week so far?
I adore Max Mara.
Me too.
I went to Max Mara. It was amazing, incredible, wonderful. I just love a monochromatic look.
Me too.
And they know how to do a chic monochromatic look.
They really do.
I love them.
Are you going to Paris Fashion Week?
I will absolutely not be going to Paris Fashion Week.
Why?
This is the end of the road for me. I did New York Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, and I'm done. I don't know if the Parisian brands see it for me. I don't know if they, can we be honest? Can I be honest?
I had a whole talk about this on my last vlog.
Let me go watch that.
I went.
Yeah, I don't think they see it for me. I see it for me, but I don't think they see it for me.
As you always should. But that's the thing about blackness is we always see each other first.
Hello.
For the world
Amen.
does. But I also love how they see us when it's time to taste it.
When it's time to be inspired.
Very interesting.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting. I was saying, unless you're like a Nepo baby or like a traditional celebrity, there's really not that many like black women in fashion who just got in just based on being a creator. Like the way like
100%.
Victoria McGrath would, or like Tamara
100%.
Kalanick would. It doesn't translate the same for black
You
women.
have to
It's
be.
weird.
We're excellent. You have to be famous.
Yeah, you have to be
They
famous.
will sit Beyonce. It's no shade to the other girls, but they will sit Beyonce next to a non-black content creator, and in their world, that is the same level of fame, and that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so it's like
insane.
that's kind of the culture that we're trying to break through. I am not Rosa Parks. This is not a movement. Okay.
Said the same
I am not trying to bust my way in. You know, I think I present just a really good creative package, and I'm interested in like seeing things through.
Yeah.
But I am not Rosa Parks.
I think that's like really admirable to say that, because we also don't have to, like, these are systems that have been in place for like decades, hundreds of years. So like, I don't look to you as like well, I'm expecting you to break the mold.
Yeah.
It's not your job and only your job.
Or my burden.
And yeah, and it takes a lot more work than I think people realize.
Yeah,
So
way more.
I just wanted to say that I see you, I recognize you. Your name comes up constantly when I talk about this. And I just want to let you know that you just being here is also the change. Like, and I hope you know that. Like, you don't have to necessarily be sitting on a, doing a boy. Like, you being here is truly enough, and you talking about it is important too. So
You saying that, because I was really saying, I don't know if I'm going to come back.
really,
Yeah, because you know what? It's so much time. People don't recognize how much money it is,
Yeah,
how much
it's a
resources,
lot of money.
the
Yeah.
exhaustion. It's just not the same as it is in America. America is challenging. There's like some diversity, some equity, some inclusion issues there. But like, I always liken Europe to like 1981 rainbow push diversity effort. It's like very antiquated. It's
different.
So I was like, I don't know if I really want to put myself in that position again. But you saying that, I'm like, okay, maybe I will.
and honestly, I think just going where you're celebrated is like a part of doing that work.
So when are we gonna do Legos Fashion Week? Let's storm the girls.
I've been dying to go to Lagos Fashion Week.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm setting my sights on.
I think you would
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
Well, you saying I'm
Just for,
Nigerian, I'm giving
You
Nigerian
are, girl. I
vibes.
feel like you find yourself at home.
Well, I'm ready.
Milan Fashion Week, that's a wrap.